And now it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Mexa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Royal Polaris, the world's finest long-range sports fisher. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Mexa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. Man, do we have a great show for you today. Pete is out of the studio enjoying some fishing in Montana, and boy, Corey and Brandon too, so you got just me, unfortunately, but do we have a great guest. We're hanging out with one of our favorites here, part of the Let's Talk Hookup family, Captain Ryan Bostian of the San Diego. We're going to be looking forward to talking all kinds of great fishing, great fun. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. This is Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
Take a closer look at the Ford Bronco and the Bronco Sport. You'll see adventure, discovery, and even a little mud. These 4x4s provide the muscle, tech, and durability to go anywhere. Get your ideal combination of power and capability to handle whatever comes your way. Whether it's taking something down to the launch ramp or going out in the desert, it's time to see Ford in a new light. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealers to check out the new Ford Bronco or Bronco Sport today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Hey, it's time for the 30-second Power Pro Seminar. Here's the hot tip for those of us that like to fish with small reels for big fish. Fill your spools with Power Pro Max Quattro. It's 25% thinner than standard Power Pro. That means you're going to get more line on that small reel. Plus, you can fly line your bait more effectively. Here's another tip about Power Pro Max Quattro. Your casting distance will increase in addition to increasing your spool capacity. So downsize your tackle and use Power Pro Max Quattro. Check PowerPro.com for more information.
Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. FishDope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Quintin, 365 days a year. FishDope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have FishDope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Man, what a great show we have today. Again, Pete out of the studio, and unfortunately our co-hosts weren't able to join me either. So again, you're stuck with me for a couple hours. But on the great side, we have one of our great friends from the show, and certainly excited to have Captain Ryan Bostian of the San Diego join us. Good morning, Ryan.
Morning, Ricky. How you doing?
Great, man. Sure good to have you, and fun time of year to get to have you on here too, when things are just kind of. We're just kind of rolling things out. You know, the fishing season no longer is hoping to get started. We're just in that, feels like we're in that springtime roller coaster of good conditions and great sign and the fish bite and oh my God, here we go. And then a storm and then it down and then it back again. And so, yeah, this is an exciting time.
Springtime in Southern California can be frustrating for sure. We get some sign, we make a catch or two, and then 3 days of wind and we get an upwelling, the water rolls over, and then feels like we're back to square one, and then we might get a little sign going, make a catch, and then another blow comes. So, yeah, we're definitely experiencing that right now at the Coronado Islands and surrounding areas. But one thing I'm super excited about is this big bonita that started to bite yesterday on the half-day boat.
Dude.
Oh, my gosh. If you ever wanted to take a kid fishing for the first time and get them hooked to our style of Southern California, you know, running guns, quick stop, heavy action, wide open. I saw videos from the new Seaforth yesterday. everybody had one on.
It was the coolest thing I'd seen. I saw the same thing. You look down the side of the boat, and every person's got one, and if they don't, in one more turn of the handle, okay, he's on too.
Yeah, and that is the type of fishing that got me hooked when I was a kid. I can remember waking up early, looking at the newspaper to see how many bonita they caught on the new Seaford, the same exact boat that crushed them yesterday, along with the dolphin. And if you were ever going to take a kid fishing, especially with this weather, I mean, it feels like spring out there big time. It's warm. Now is the time to do it.
And you could catch them anyway. You could fly line a sardine. You could cast a Colt Sniper. You could fish a spinning rod. You could fish a bass rod. You could fish a big heavy, whatever it is. I'm
still a big believer that everybody should become a master of fly line fishing first. I think everyone should start there. Yeah. It's going to help you down the road. When you move on to other techniques, if you're very proficient in going to the bait tank, catching a sardine or an anchovy, getting it on your hook healthy, that's the biggest gift that my dad gave me, was showing me how to walk to the bait tank and pick out a good bait and go to the rail and get it in the water. You're already 5 steps ahead of everyone around you if you have a good bait in the water. So that's how I would start. But with that being said, with the tackle that's out nowadays, you could take a kid, give him a 40-pound rod and a Colt Sniper, tell him to get on the windy side of the boat. Yeah. Every time the captain tells you to start fishing, drop it down a boat length. And if you don't have one on the way down, start winding up fast. You're probably going to have one on the way up. Cool. Yeah, they're perfect.
And they're big ones.
They're
big ones.
They're big.
Meaning, like, every one you hook is going to rip drag off the reel, and there's going to be the insanity and the fun and the weaving in between everybody and the high excitement level. I couldn't agree with you more. It is on.
They're going to do everything you want a fish to do on the end of your line. They're going to pull drag. They're going to scare you a little bit. They're going to get you in a tangle. You're going to saw someone off. You're going to get sawed off.
All of the things are going to happen.
Everything's going to happen. The same thing. And then in a couple months when the yellowfin tuna show up, you will be familiar with that.
You're so right.
Yeah, so it's a great thing.
And the most user-friendly fish. And I think the other thing that's so cool, and you guys, you in particular, did such a good job on your social media the other day talking about what a difference a bonita is in 2025 versus how it was looked at 10 years ago. And like what a good, table fare fish that can be, and like how you guys deal with it. I just thought it was really cool.
Yeah, nothing gets more hoopla on our social media than bonito posts. If we post bonito, it's it used to be 99% of the comments were, cat food, garbage fish, throw it away, bury it in your garden. Now it's about 70%. Those are excellent eating fish, which they are. To 30% cat food, lobster, hoop net bait, right. But I can't blame people for having that opinion of them because of what has happened in the past.
Totally.
They sat in burlap sacks. They got soft. They have a terrible shelf life. Okay. They just do. They're delicate. They're a delicate meat, which means they're delicious because of that.
Yeah.
If taken care of properly. But also they have a short shelf life. So, I tell people, don't even try to freeze them, really.
Right.
If you're not going to...
It's just not worth that part.
It's just not worth... It doesn't freeze and defrost well. If you're not going to eat it in the next 3 or 4 days, don't keep it.
Right.
Let them go.
Totally.
You don't have to. You don't have to keep everything you catch. What we like to do is they're amazing sashimi. My father-in-law is from Japan, and he tells me that only the finest sushi bars in Japan stock bonito.
Really?
Yes.
For that shelf life reason.
For the shelf life is a big part of it. But they are delicious. They're very, very good eating. Whatever you can't eat, sashimi or poke, they make amazing poke.
Yeah.
We'll bake it or like barbecue it, cook it all the way through, and make tuna salad out of it. It's amazing tuna salad as well.
That's rad.
Yeah, so that's kind of our program.
That's what I loved. You said, you got the the day or the next day of sashimi, and the day after that it's poke, and the day after that it turns into tuna sandwiches, and then that's it. That's its cycle.
That's it. They're a great fish.
But a huge part of that is though the care that you guys on the boat put into it, and I mean that you were a big believer in that, and I remember the change when it happened. the San Diego was the first place that a full-day trip changed from everything stays in a burlap sack and hopefully it gets hit with the hose to the level of care that you guys put into everything that comes on board.
Yeah, they used to sit in the burlap sack, and then the crew members would hit them with the hose, so they were essentially like steaming them for you. Yeah, they were making like Kahlua pig, Kahlua bonito. But yeah, no, all the fish go into the 33-degree refrigerated seawater now. Even on the half-day boats, I know the Dolphin and the new Seaforth have fish holds.
Yeah.
It's way different than it used to be. We bleed everything. It's the only way.
Yeah.
We need to take care of our resource and only keep what we're going to eat. And if we're only going to keep a small amount, we want to keep it perfect.
Totally.
So that's our program now.
The level of care that you guys put into things, it just really shows, and it's fun to watch. And like you said, I've been on the boat, and you guys clip gills on rockfish and everything else. And again, it's a completely different product, fish, whatever you want to call it at the end of the day. If you look at a 14-inch rockfish that just got thrown in a gunny sack, or one that got bled and then held cold and then filleted properly, and you put those two things on the table, they don't even look the same.
It's totally different. That's why, a lot of people, I don't like fish, it's fishy. It's just,
right.
It hasn't been taken care of properly.
Totally.
So we're doing it. A lot of boats are doing it. It's the only way, in my opinion.
Well, speaking of fish, what is going on right now? We talked about the up and down-ness that is the springtime. What's been going on in the San Diego, and how's the start to the season been? And I know that you guys do a little bit of everything. You fish the islands and you fish offshore. What's been the rundown so far this season?
We like to keep tabs on everything that's happening kind of within 50 miles of Mission Bay. That's our comfortable range. So Coronado Islands are a big part of that. But over the last 10 years, we've spent a lot of time offshore. And especially in the spring, we've spent a lot of time offshore, targeting bluefin, yellowtail, bonito. This spring has been a little slow.
Okay.
We started out at the Coronado Islands. Let me think about this here. Yeah, first few trips were to the islands, and we've been seeing yellowtail down there for the last couple years. It's been very easy to see them.
Okay.
The amount of bait down there, anchovies, squid at times, baby rockfish, baby lizardfish, we've seen them
really?
eating. Yeah,
what
clouds of bait have made these yellowtail difficult to hook, and this spring has been no exception.
Okay.
Very easy to see yellowtail down there. Very hard to get a bite.
When you say see, is that like visual on the surface you see them, or you see them with your machines?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Usually there's a couple-hour period each day where they're up on the surface chasing bait. They're still hard to hook even when they're doing that. I think our best day in the last couple of weeks, Matt had a day for 14 yellowtail, and he said he had schools of them rolling around right next to the boat almost all day long.
Oh, my God.
You wind your lures through them. They're just in that mode where the amount of fish to bait ratio is like way off.
Okay.
We either need less bait or we need more fish to come in. One of the two has to change. We also did spend a little bit of time offshore, a couple weeks offshore a few weeks ago. And we enjoyed some of this bonita fishing. That was fun. We saw a little bit of sign of bluefin. We never caught any. We had a little bit of sign of yellowtail on kelps.
Okay.
And then we had some weather come in, and so we went back to the islands. And we get these upwellings this time of year, so the water kind of got funky in our range. But we're keeping a close eye on everything, and we'll try to give people as much notice as possible. But this time of year, we kind of toggle back and forth between the islands and offshore.
Totally.
Always, we're trying to take our customers where we feel they have the best shot of catching fish consistently.
Yeah.
We don't want to go to the islands and just have one good day. We want to, schedule our boat to the islands and have a good, 3 weeks.
Totally.
So that's kind of the way we look at it.
And when you're down there, at the islands this time of year, is it, in the springtime, do you always catch them one way? Is it, we're always going to catch our yellowtail on yo-yo jigs, or it's always going to be on the surface, or what is it? What does a guy prepare for on a trip, this time of year when things are in that, still getting them dialed in mode? Yeah,
that's a good question. And no, it's not always the same technique. It's especially right now, the yellowtail that we've been catching, we can't really seem to figure out what the best pattern is to catch them. It's whatever you're comfortable fishing, either a fly line sardine, a yo-yo lure, or a surface iron. We've caught fish on all three. when the fishing's like that, and dropper loops also, we've had some yellowtail on dropper loops. When the fishing's like that, we always tell the people, you want to fish the technique that you're most comfortable with.
Okay.
You just want to make sure you're efficient. So when we do get an opportunity, they are biting a little bit, that whatever you're fishing properly. That's whether cool. It be a fly line sardine, a yo-yo lure. Some people are just surface iron guys or gals. That's what they do. That's all they want to do, and that's fine also. Just whatever you're going to fish, make sure you're comfortable with it. And if you're not sure, if you're just starting out, I would recommend starting out fly lining.
That's great.
Because of what I mentioned before.
Yeah.
It's going to set you up for success when you do move on to yo-yo fishing, surface iron fishing. You'll have a better understanding of how the boat drifts and current and how to operate your reel. And I would recommend starting out fly lining and then move on to the lures.
I think you said that so perfectly. There's some people that are just diehard. That's why I'm going, and that's how I want to catch them. But I can't imagine the number of scenarios that you have probably seen where, man, if you were just fly lining a bait, you would have probably had a limit a while ago, but you were dead set on this is how I want to do it. So this is how I'm going to do it.
We've seen a lot of days like that, and we've had some fish counts, quite honestly, that were not that good because we had a boatload of people that just wanted to surface iron fish. And kind of our new approach the last couple of years is, we talk to these guys and be like, hey, do me a favor.
Catch a couple.
Catch three, or catch a couple fly lining, and then fling your lure around till your arms are tired, and get your other one or two. Sometimes they're just not in the mode to bite a surface lure that good. They want a fly line bait.
There's no doubt it's the funnest way to catch one. When the opportunity does present itself, it is the best. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. I don't blame them. I would be the same way. I would have to have a talking to me from the captain as well.
The question gets posed on Let's Talk Hookup all the times when there's captains like yourselves in here. Oh, what's your favorite thing personally to do? And 99% of the time, with all of the fishing that guys in your shoes get to do, it often comes back to that. Oh, surface iron yellowtail is my favorite thing.
There's just something about it when they get behind your lure and track it for a while and then eat it, or when they come flying from the side and you didn't see them coming and they eat your lure to the ring. Yeah, there's just something about it that's seriously addicting.
Totally. And you guys on the San Diego provide such an awesome platform. You got just such a killer crew, and the professionalism is so high. Like, you provide the atmosphere that draws. I know you've got a fantastic family of regulars that go on the boat, so I'm sure you've got a higher percentage of guys who just want to do that. Hey, we just want to catch one on the surface line. I'm sure it can be frustrating at times.
It can be frustrating at times. It can be glorious at others.
Yeah. That's cool. Well, as you can hear, we've got a fantastic show. So stoked to have Captain Ryan in the studio here this morning. And if you want to join us, man, we want to hear from you. Give us a call. Jeff is standing by on the fan. Jeff does such a great job of always keeping us on the air and does such a great job, especially when I'm rolling solo. So we really appreciate him. But he's standing by to take your phone calls this morning. Give us a call at 833-288-0973. One more time if you want to reach us on the phones. 833-288-0973 is how you get us here on Let's Talk Hookup. Or you can send us a text. The text of the show is so popular, we already have a bunch of great texts rolling through, but we are going to be looking forward to taking your text all day long here on Let's Talk Hookup. If you want to do that, the only way you can text the show is through the Let's Talk Hookup app. It's a free download if you don't have it already. It's the best way to listen to Let's Talk Hookup. It's the most consistent way to listen to Let's Talk Hookup, and you can catch all the archive shows. If you had a fun thing that you wanted to hear Steve and Johnny talking about last week and you missed that show, you can always dial us up on the Let's Talk Hookup app, catch all the previous shows. It's a lot of fun. When you do send your text in, make sure that you include your contact info. Just a name and a phone number along with your text is all we need, because if you win the big prize at the end of the show, we want to make sure to get it to you. And what a killer prize we are giving away today. One lucky caller or texter decided by the coin flip at the end of the show is going to win a trip to go fishing with Captain Ryan Bostian. We're giving away a full-day trip on the San Diego out of C4 Sport Fishing to one lucky caller or texter, and we're so proud to get to do that, Ryan. That's very generous of you guys, and it's everybody's favorite prize on Let's Talk Hookup, so we're really pumped and excited that somebody's going to get to come fishing with you. Well, as you can hear, we got a great show coming for you. Lots of phone calls and texts. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice, on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
Haida Gwaii Safaris, formerly Queen Charlotte Safaris, invites you to experience the magic of Haida Gwaii Islands, British Columbia, Canada. Hi, I'm Valerie Hoprich. 25 years ago, I fell in love with these incredible islands, the breathtaking scenery, the warm community, and the truly phenomenal fishing. That passion inspired me to open my own fishing lodge, just steps from the Sandspit Harbor at Haida Gwaii Safaris. You will be fishing in pristine, pressured waters for Chinook, king salmon, halibut, lingcod, and much more. Plus be surrounded by untouched beauty. We pride ourselves on creating an unforgettable venture that turns first-time guests into lifetime friends. You will come for the fishing and you will come back for the memories. We are booking now. Call us at 1-877-815-2892 or visit our website, qcsafaris.com. Find us on Facebook and Instagram. Haida Gwaii Safaris, where adventure and friendship meet.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. Spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or a fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
Hi, it's Ben. I want to tell you about a great event at my dad's shop, Dana Landing in Mission Bay. It's coming up on Saturday, May 10th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. We call it the Summer Kickoff Sale. Yeah, I know. It's not summer yet, but my dad, Johnny, Bubba, and everyone at Dana Landing, especially me, wish it was. So we celebrate a bit early with huge discounts on everything in the store. Some stuff is even 50% off. There will be several manufacturers, representatives, some amazing seminars by top anglers, and even my buddy Ron at Fastlane will have free kayak demos and stuff on sale. Rollo Kids will have a booth too, raising money to take kids like me fishing. And get this, there will be free food and drink too. Yum! So mark your calendar, Saturday, May 10th, the summer kickoff sale at Dana Landing, next to the Dana Lawn Trip at Mission Bay. The event is 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., but everything will be on sale up to 50% off all day. But don't take too much of his money. I need stuff too.
When you're offshore fishing, the right gear makes all the difference, and that includes Fujinon stabilized binoculars from Baker Marine. Baker Marine has been selling binoculars for decades, and more importantly, they service all brands right at their San Diego Shelter Island location. Need the best? The Fujinon Staboscope is the professional's choice. Looking for top-tier stabilization at a great price? The Fujinon Technostabi TSX 1440 delivers rock-steady vision even in rough waters. Perfect for serious anglers. Baker Marine is the largest Fujinon retailer on the West Coast, and when you buy from them, they will be there when your binoculars need service. Plus, they'll give you a great price on all their in-stock Fujinon binoculars. Stop by their store on Shelter Island in San Diego and test a pair of Fujinon binoculars and see which one is right for you. The fishing season is here, and you know you need a pair of stabilized binoculars, so get them from the experts at Baker Marine. Learn more at bakermarine.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. Phone lines are absolutely packed up. Everybody's excited to talk to Ryan, and man, we're just having a great time talking. I'm certainly stoked to not have the little bit of technical issues we had last week. It was a stressful one for sure, but appreciate everybody hanging in there with us. And man, we're really stoked to have you back. Hey, we heard during the break a commercial spot for that Dana Landing Summer Kickoff Sale. Last Saturday we had Steve and Johnny in here. Well, today is the day. So, man, if you haven't, there's just such great deals that those guys have going on at the Summer Kickoff Sale. Awesome deals on tackle, tons of vendors in the parking lot, all the major manufacturers, a big raffle. Free food at the event, and also if you buy a raffle ticket to support Friends of Rollo, you're also going to get an opportunity to get a free beer from the guys. It's just a really, really cool event, and most importantly, it's a huge savings on tackle and fun. It's the Dana Landing Summer Kickoff Sale. Hopefully we hear from one of the boys a little later on the show and how things are going, but we're really pumped for them, and that's sure to be a great day. Well, hey, we're going to get things started off on the phones. Captain Ryan Bostian in the studio with us again. If you want to get through, it's 833-288-0973, or send us a text on that Let's Talk Hookup app. We're going to get started with John, who's called us from Anaheim this morning. Good morning, John. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys. The bonita are so fun, especially when you're first learning I remember being on the Huntington Beach Pier with a diamond jig and a bonita feather and catching 2 at a time. It's wild, but you guys have a great show.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it very much. I'm with you, Ryan. Like, that is my I can distinctly remember the first game fish I ever caught. The first thing to pull line off the reel. Coronado Islands on the Malahini with my dad. Like, I remember every bit of it. Like,
yeah, I hope these fish stick around. I can remember they'd be around in the wintertime quite often when I was a kid. And, man, if these stick around, they're going to be so good for the fleet.
Yeah.
For the short trips especially.
Especially the size. Yeah, the size. It's awesome. And they're really nice ones.
Yeah, this batch that kind of showed up yesterday for the half-day boats looks a little bit smaller to me than that first batch that kind of went out to the west and towards Clemente. Those things were bruisers.
Well, these ones were bruisers, so that means they must have been giant ones.
They were giant.
Yeah.
These are plenty big enough.
Yeah.
That first batch that came through and went kind of due west were crazy. They were so big.
Like, how about you talking like double-digit big?
Oh, yeah. We weighed one trip that I drove, a guy had a scale, and he weighed some that were not the biggest on the boat, and they were 13, 14, 15 pounders.
God, no way.
Huge. But they don't look that big in pictures, we realize. Like, Bonito don't photo very well. They need to get with their marketing people and work on that. They don't really get any longer. They just get fatter, so...
If there were bonita that reached 100 pounds, is there even gear big enough that we would be able to catch those things?
I wouldn't swim in the ocean if they reached 100 pounds. They're so mean, and these stops that we've had recently, and I'm sure just like the New Seaforth and Dolphin yesterday, they're so ferocious that if you fell in the water, you might have a problem. They're absolutely eating everything in the water.
So cool.
It's really, really cool to see.
Oh, that's fun. Well, hey, we just talked about it, but we got the man on the line right now. Steve Pennard from Dana Landing. Man, we're so excited that today is the day, the summer kickoff sale. Good morning, Steve. We got you there, Steve? Looks like we might have lost him. All right, well, we'll see if we can get him back and get him on the other line there. But, again, summer kickoff sale starting today at Dana Landing in Mission Bay. Going to be a great time for sure, and we're excited for that. In the meantime, let's jump back into the phones. We're going to talk to Tom, calling us from University City. Good morning, Tom.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. Good morning, Tom.
Favorite show of the year when Ryan comes on. I was just wondering if the Bonito's not wide open, what kind of jig do they like better? Do they like something shiny, or would a surface iron work just as good?
If it were a little bit picky, I would definitely fish with something shiny, like a Colt Sniper or something like that. Those are great lures. A lot of it is how well you can cast them, too. They just fly through the air with their torpedo sinker type shape. So if it were not wide open, I would choose something shiny like a Colt Sniper or something similar over a surface iron. That being said, you start seeing fish counts of 50 plus on a half-day boat. That means it's pretty darn wide open, so you can fish whatever you want.
Does the size make a big difference? Is it a small one? Is it a big one? And then does the hook that's on them also, does that seem to matter much?
We just fish the stock hooks that come on them. You know, thing you want to watch out for is don't go too big of a hook.
Okay.
You don't want something that's not going to fit in their mouth, because they come, the way a bonita comes through and eats the bait, they come through so fast, and they actually come from the side and kind of grab their baits like a dog bone, in the middle a lot. So if you have too big of a hook, it's just not going to fit in their mouth. So that'd be the only thing I'd watch out for. But
something comfortable to cast with an 80 gram or 100 gram, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, 80, 100 gram be perfect.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
And the treble hook that comes on it, perfectly fine.
Fine.
Like you said, it's the most user-friendly fish.
They're amazing.
They bite everything. They pull hard. They eat good.
Exactly.
They're close.
You don't have to buy $100 lure and then change the hooks on it. You know, it's just right out of the package. Fish it how it comes.
I love it. I'll appreciate it. Appreciate the phone call very much. Well, hey, I think we got Steve back on the line right now. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, there he goes. Good morning. Well, boy, we're really excited today. The big day at Dana Landing, the summer kickoff sale. You guys have been doing such a great job keeping us informed, and we had a blast with you in the studio. But, boy, it's it. How's things shaping up?
You know what? Pretty much ready to go. We're full. I think we ended up with 27 booths, 27 manufactured booths. So Yeah, we got quite the show going on over here. So it's it's going to be a great day. I'm really looking forward to it. The weather couldn't have been better, and although there's a little fish around, I was worried the yellows were going to bite on Friday, and I was going to have nobody here. So all good.
So tell us about it, Steve. I know that for those that didn't get a chance to listen last weekend, I mean, this is at its core, it is a fantastic sale on fishing tackle. You've provided an entire day. I mean, this is an event. It is not just a sale where you hung up a couple of sale signs. I mean, there's very significant discounts on all the big and important things, and it's vendors and manufacturers in the parking lot, and it's food and it's raffles. I mean, give us another little rundown about what's going on today at Dana Landing.
Yeah, I think you said it there. You buy a $5 raffle ticket. The pile of stuff over here is insane. We're gonna have raffles all day long. You get a free ticket for a Salty Crew beer. We're gonna be serving at noon. We're gonna be serving like a pulled pork sandwich lunch, and that's all free. That's like that type of stuff. Obviously, all these manufacturer booths. Corey's here. Everyone's here just to talk to. And then the specials are unbelievable. And I was kind of thinking about this morning. These are all, like, we haven't really hit tariff pricing yet, which I think is just, the prices are going to go through the roof. And this is all buy two, get one free at pre-tariff pricing. So the specials are just crazy. I mean, it's buy two, any fluorocarbon, buy two, get one free. Select fluorocarbons, buy one, get one.
Crazy.
So, these are the cheap prices. It's not going anywhere except for up. So, I think getting a $50 gift card back on a pair of Maui Jim or Costa sunglasses is a great deal. We're listening to the show in a turtle box. You get a $25 gift card back. But
the fluoro and hooks, too, like you're saying, is crazy because you're gonna. That is something you will be using all year. You're going to buy that and pay a lot more money for it later in the season. Why not do it now? And like you say, at pre-price increase time and get a free one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you said. It's all stuff you need. It's not like we're trying to dump it. I mean, everything is for sale.
The other one I really liked was your deal on JRI surface irons. Remind me again. It was buy two, get one, and then get another one.
Yep, you get one from the booth. So, yeah. I mean, there's a couple things like that where you buy two, get one, and then you go out and you get another one. So you're really buying two, getting two.
That's awesome, Steve.
Yeah.
Well, we're really excited. Again, give us the rundown, where we take advantage, how long it's going on today, and, man, we're really pumped and excited for you. And like you said, perfect day to come down to Dana Landing. Beautiful weather, going to be a great day.
It is. So the show itself will be from 8 a.m. to around 1 p.m. But all of the deals go on till we close at 8 p.m. tonight.
Nice.
So, if you can't come during the thing, come in the afternoon, and you'll still be able to buy one, get one. You'll still be able to, 15% off all rods. So, like I said, everything's for sale, and it's going to be a great event. Even if you don't buy anything, it's going to be fun to come down. Everyone's kind of hanging out. Like I said, we've got the lunch and the beer and everything else. So, kind of a fun day.
Well, we can't wait. Prepare to have the Maxer crew with both the little boys running around. We're coming to see you, Steve. It's going to be an awesome day. Can't wait, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys at Dana Landing, right next to the Lawn Tramp in Mission Bay, right across the street from Seaforth. Captain Ryan Bostian, we sure appreciate it, Steve. Good luck. I know you're going to be very busy. Wish the boys behind the counter good luck, and I'm glad I'm not the one stuck behind the line machine today. It's going to be a very busy day at Dana Landing.
We got plenty of people ready. So, hey, thanks, guys. You guys have a great show.
All right. Thanks a lot, Steve. Appreciate that. All right. Phones are packed up. We're going to jump right back in. Let's talk to John. He's calling us from San Diego this morning. What's up, John? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys. I wanted to ask Captain Ryan what his favorite part of being a sport fishing boat captain is, and maybe his least favorite part of the job.
That's a good question.
That is a very good question. Favorite part has kind of changed over the years. When I first started driving a boat, the fishing was definitely my favorite part. The fishing and the competition. I loved kind of the competition amongst other boats, and also I loved the hunt of locating fish that might have gone missing. That was definitely a big driving factor. Lately, as I've gotten older, kind of my favorite part has been the people, honestly, and not just the customers, the crew members. That's cool. Know, watching our crew members go from 13-year-old grommets on the boat to full-grown men making way more money than I am, just by taking kind of the system that we put in place on the San Diego and carrying that out into other aspects of life. And that's been my favorite part lately, is watching our crew members go from young boys to men. And, guys like, Cameron just bought the San Diego. He pinheaded for me when he was 13. Taro, same thing. He worked for me on the Mission Belle. Obviously Matt, he's worked for me for a long time, and he's gone from a little boy to a man. And Fisher's following right. And we have a group of these kids, Nick and Ethan and Andrew, that worked on the San Diego when they were young, and then went to the Maritime Academy up in the Bay Area. And now they're working on huge cargo ships delivering petroleum products all around the world.
Have giant boat licenses.
Doing great. So that's my favorite part now.
I'll bet, man.
Least favorite part? I don't know. That's probably just all the hoops that you have to jump through.
I can see that. Think about the difference of when you started fishing. When you went to the Coronado Islands, you got a Mexican permit, you went down and went fishing.
Yes. A lot of times people say, "Oh, your ticket price is so expensive; it's gone up so much." We haven't raised our ticket price in years. Yeah. It's all the permits and paperwork and fees.
No extra money's gone.
No extra money. Exactly. No extra money for the boat. It's all the visas, permits, wristbands, everything. So, I hear business owners complain sometimes in my life, and I, in the back of my mind, I think, try running a business in California that involves killing fish or an animal. Right. You want to see some hoops to jump through. There's a lot of hoops, but thank God we have people like Ken Franke, Frank Lepresti, all these guys that have been doing it for a long time that give us a roadmap how to be successple. Totally. Without them, we'd be totally lost. Yeah. I don't even know if we'd be in existence.
Being in San Diego is such the blessing and the curse. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we have the most amazing fishery in your backyard at C4 Sport Fishing, and the opportunity to fish Mexican waters is just right at your doorstep.
Yeah.
But with that comes all the added. And I mean, you guys do. I don't want to keep blowing smoke, but like. You and then also the staff at C4 do such a good job of navigating. The cool part is, like, for somebody like me as the passenger, we don't have any hoops to go through.
Yeah.
You got to pay an extra couple of bucks, but you just show up to the counter at C4 and everything is taken care of. As long as you got your passport, you don't worry about anything.
They're very, very good at it over there. They're always looking for ways to improve their system. It starts with John Yamati Sr., and now Jeff, his son, is playing a big role in the office, but they are so good at it. Yeah. I won't mention any names, but I hear other landings calling over there all the time asking for advice on how they do this permit process. Yeah, how do you do this? How do you do that? And they're just very, very good at it. In my opinion, it's because they've all come from boats.
Yeah,
Jeff Yamati worked on the Endeavor for 4 or 5 years. John's an avid fisherman. I think he just got back from a long trip on the Royal Polaris. It's like you guys. It's run by fishermen. It's a big help.
Understanding the plight of the guy on the boat goes a whole long way.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, hey, appreciate the phone call very much. When we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. We're going to check in with Scott Sherman, find out what's going on. All kinds of great info. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California sport fishing voice on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan. This is Rock Cod Rick for Adventure and Camping, where they bring the adventure to you. If you enjoyed camping in the Eastern Sierra but don't own an RV or a trailer, or simply don't want the hassle, let Adventure and Camping park it for you. Check out their website, adventureandcamping.com. Select from over 75 campgrounds they serve. Decide on a trailer floor plan that fits your needs. Request a quote for your desired vacation dates. Then just show up and start your adventure. Adventure and Camping makes it so simple. They deliver the trailer to your spot and you enjoy a clean, spacious trailer. When it comes time to go home, just close the door and drive away. It doesn't get any easier.
If you enjoy camping in the Eastern Sierra but don't want the hassle, Adventure in Camping is for you. Check out adventureincamping.com for details. Make sure you mention that Rock Cod Rick sent you for a special price. adventureincamping.com.
Hello, this is Captain Mike Totter from Searcher Sport Fishing. Alongside my colleague, Chef Josh Evans, and our dedicated team, we invite you to join us aboard the Searcher. Our fishing trips range from 1.5 to 8 days, available May through November, and include charter options. We're committed to upholding a legacy of top-notch customer service, delicious food, and a friendly and talented crew. Book your fishing adventure online at searchersportfishing.com or call Rachel at 619-226-2403. That's searchersportfishing.com. We look forward to welcoming you aboard.
The lighter the bite and the cleaner the water means one thing. Need a thinner leader, more natural presentations. That's where Seaguar Gold Label leader material shines. It's Seaguar's thinnest leader material yet. That means it's even less visible underwater and creates more natural presentations for better catch rates on leader-shy fish. With exceptional knot and tinsel strength, this advanced leader material is now available from 2-pound test for fishing trout in the Sierra to 80-pound test for big yellowfin in Guadalupe. Get Seaguar Gold Label at your favorite tackle dealer or learn more at seaguar.com.
Everything about Katmai Lodge is first rate, and it should be on the bucket list of everyone who enjoys fishing. This is Brandon Bono. My visit to Katmai Lodge is an experience I will never forget. Constructed on the banks of the Alagnak River in Katmai National Park, the lodge is a fishing dream come true. The experience is incomparable. Whether bait casting, spin, or fly fishing, you'll find king, sockeye, chum, coho, and pink salmon, plus trout, grayling, char, and dolly varden. Their guides are amazing. Days are exciting and fun with hot lunches and snacks served on the river. The brown bears, bald eagles, beaver, otters, and other wildlife you see is amazing. The lodge staff is great. There's complimentary wine, beer, and appetizers before a fantastic dinner every evening. Take it from me, a trip to Katmai Lodge should be on your list. For information, visit katmai.com or call 1-800-330-0326. Once again, that's Katmai Lodge, KATMAI.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. Busy show already. Great phones and great times. And we got, looks like we had Sherm, but looks like we might have just lost him there. But hopefully we'll get him back during the break. But again, very busy morning. If you want to get through, get in on the fun, talking San Diego, give us a call at 833-288-0973 or send us a text on the Let's Talk Hookup app. We've got a lot of great texts standing by, but since we are lucky enough to have Jeff and the phones here for the first hour, 97.3 The Fan, we're going to keep rolling on the phones, jump right back into it, and talk to Bruce, who's called us from Lemon Grove this morning. Good morning, Bruce. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hello, Bruce.
Yo, Bruce.
Hey, good morning, guys. I was wondering, Ryan, on the boat, I know there'll be a lot of people on it. Do you have a dedicated spot, like a throw surface iron, or do you say, hey, you guys over here, or somebody up front, or...
We try to keep the surface iron guys either just forward of the bait tank or up on the bow. Is where you'll have the most casting room. What we don't want to do is either hook someone while they're at the bait tank selecting a bait, or also when we're on the anchor and we have people in the stern of the boat fly lining. I don't like it when the surface iron guys are winding in the fly liners' lines. That kind of drives me crazy a little bit, because the guys in the back fly lining, they deserve to have an equal shot as well. Totally. So we keep the surface iron guys either just forward of the bait tank or up on the bow.
Taking the captain's hat off and putting yourself as an angler, where is the ideal spot, do you think, to, is it on the bow? Is it at the, is it forward of the tank in that area? Like, where would be the, or is it just totally based on what the fish are doing?
Yeah, I think it's kind of different every stop, really. If I had to choose one, I would say just forward of the bait tank.
Okay.
And, I always try to cast downwind if possible. It just makes it easier. Sometimes you do need to cast into the wind. That's just where they're boiling. Downwind side, just forward of the bait tank would be my first choice.
Got it.
Yeah.
Because the reason I ask is, it's an intimidating thing for something like you. I think you said it very best in the beginning of the show. Master how to fly line a bait.
Yeah.
And when you feel like you've got that down and you're wanting to learn that the next part of it, it's an intimidating thing, especially going on a boat and seeing a bunch of guys and the rods are long and the tackle's a little tougher to get used to. So I think that's why I ask, like, where's the best spot to plant yourself and give yourself a little room? And
Yeah, and I would highly recommend that people go to the bay and practice a little bit casting before their trip, because like it can be daunting. Like you said, you get out there, the adrenaline's flowing, the fish are biting. There's 4 or 5 pros on the boat that are very good at fishing, and if you haven't practiced or been out in a while, it could be a little difficult. So go to the bay. Make a 20, 30 practice cast. Get used to putting your line on the reel smooth, and it'll really help you out.
That's good info. Hey, appreciate it very much. Well, hey, let's try that again. We got Scott Sherman on the line this morning, and boy, Scott, I know that the bottom fish tournament was absolutely successful, and we were really excited to hear about what a great job you guys did with the Southwestern Bottom Fish Tournament. And man, good morning. We're happy to hear from you.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Another great show. Always love it when Captain Bostian's on. Hey, on the Friends of Rollo bottom fishing tournament, we talked about it last weekend, and I misspoke a little bit. I said that we raised $23,000, and it looks more like we're done $27,000 and some change.
Wow,
so it looks like
cool.
It's more money for Friends of Rollo,
$27,000 raised for Friends of Rollo. You guys should be really proud of that. That's an awesome thing, and you're sending a lot of kids fishing, and hats off to you and everybody at the Anglers Club from Southwestern and everybody that participated in the bottom fish tournament and all the great raffles and donations that you guys got. That's an amazing accomplishment, Scott. Congratulations.
Yeah, buddy, it's for a worthy cause, so it was my pleasure. And I got a question for Captain Bostian too. Is I do surface iron fishing and that kind of stuff from my boat, and it seems like there's a couple of guys that I fish with. I mean, we can throw it the same distance and everything else, but they seem to catch more than I do on the surface iron. What would be your number one tip for using the surface iron proper?
Boy, that's a tough one. I would say keep in mind that a good cast only goes as far as it has to. You don't have to be the guy that can bomb it the furthest. It's more location, like a pitcher, I guess, in baseball. You don't need to throw it 103 miles per hour. You can be a Greg Maddux and just, put it in a perfect spot every time. Yeah. There's a lot of surface iron fishermen like that. They can't throw it very far at all, but they get a lot of bites. Yeah. Learning bird behavior would be my number one tip.
That was my thought.
There's so many nuances to birds that people should learn. Type of bird, bird behavior. A lot of times passengers will come to me and be like, you see those birds over there? You see those birds over there? And it's just 7 pelicans sitting on their butt. Just the fact that there's birds there doesn't mean there's fish there. It could be one bird, but it's acting the right way. It's doing the right thing. So learn bird behavior would be my number one tip.
I think that's one of the reasons that everybody likes it so much, and the thing that's the most satisfying is when you are there and you see a turn, he's flying, he stops in his tracks, or he twitches one way, or he's going one direction, and he stops and he starts freaking out and he looks the other way, and you fire off a cast that went just beyond that, and you turn the handle 3 times and you caught the one that he was looking at. Like when all those things come together, that's it. That's why it gets under your skin, and it just can't be beat.
Yeah. And also, get very comfortable putting your line back on your reel smooth. You could use the Tranxes with the level winds, and that helps. That takes that out of the equation. But if you're using a conventional reel like a Trinidad, which I believe is the best surface iron reel on the market, get very comfortable putting your line back on the reel smooth and where it needs to go.
Speaking of line, how do you set that up? Everything is available now at all. You can have a reel full of fluorocarbon and a reel full of Power Pro and a reel full of mono. And you get to see everything. Ryan Bostian sees every single thing every single day by every skill set, by the most pros and the very beginners. What is the ideal line setup for surface iron?
For surface iron, for us, it's still just 40-pound monofilament. Yeah. It just is. It's really hard to beat. King. It's the king. Yeah, it has the right amount of stretch. I would say another tip is make sure you wet your line first, because you start making a bunch of casts in a day. If you had a couple casts with dry line, you're going to burn your line even a little bit, and then when you do get a bite from a yellowtail later on in the day, it breaks right there where your line was burnt. So make sure your line is wet. But for us, it's still just 40-pound mono. It's hard to beat unless we're doing something around kelp. You were the first person I saw do it, Ricky, when Tranks first came out. Thank you. Straight spectra to a short piece of fluorocarbon, but that was only because we are around kelp. Yeah, it's a niche thing.
Yeah.
Unless, if we're just doing normal Coronado Island or La Jolla surface iron fishing, 40-pound mono is really hard to beat.
It's not hard to beat. You cannot beat it. It is the line. That's what you should be using.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's what I'd recommend.
Hey, Scott, again, great job. I hope you guys crush them on your boat, and we have an awesome yellowtail surface iron year like we did last year. And again, fantastic job. $27,000 raised for Friends of Rollo from one fishing tournament over the weekend.
Wow.
Hats off to you guys, man. Great job, buddy. Appreciate it very much.
Yeah, see, we can't beat it next year, my friend.
I love it, man. Appreciate it, Scott. Take care. All right, let's jump right back into the phones. Talk to John, who's calling us from Escondido this morning. Good morning, John. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, John.
What's up, John?
How you guys all doing?
Great, buddy.
Hey, I just came back from what was going to be a 4-day, but a 3-day because of the weather on the Shogun. Fishing was tough, but it was quality fish, not quantity. But I love fishing on your boat, and I love Matt. But is there certain days that you just fish, or is there any time that both you guys are on the boat?
We have had a few days this year where we are both on the boat. We don't really have a set schedule yet for this season as far as when I'm going to be there. When we get fishing every day, we will. Usually like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. With my daughter playing sports now, I try to be at as many of her games as I can. So midweek, couple 2-3 days a week is usually when I'm there.
I loved watching the transition happen of Captain Matt Bralla being your relief operator. Well, first off, like starting to drive the boat and then becoming your relief operator, and then him just grow into the role so amazingly well, and like what an incredible fisherman Matt has become, to then watching you become Matt's relief operator.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
I think that's the way life goes,
that's
right?
Awesome.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
I agree. It has been cool. That hopefully, we train these guys the right way, and then when they do get their opportunity, they can be successful. One thing I've seen in the fleet in the past is guys start driving boats a little too early before they're ready, and then it doesn't work out, and then they never get another shot after that. So you want to make sure when a guy does get a shot to drive a boat that he's been put through the paces, that he's ready to go, and give him the best chances of being successful, because the beginning's so important for him.
I'll bet, yeah. And I mean, there's just so much more that goes on these days. The level of customer service that people are now expecting on a boat like yours is the highest level, and your guys have always been the best at doing that.
Yeah, the fishing is definitely the easy part.
That's awesome. Well, as you can hear, we got a great show coming for you. We got another full hour coming your way on the Let's Talk Hookup app, as well as Facebook and YouTube Live. We're going to say goodbye to Jeff and the Fan. Great first hour, and we're looking forward to more with you on the stream. It's Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice, on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and more when we return with Let's Talk Hookup.
45 years. That's how long we've been right here on Mission Bay, helping friends and family like you discover the joy of sailing, kayaking, and everything life on the water has to offer. I'm Logan from Fastlane Kayaks, and if you ask Ron and Debbie Lane whether 45 years feels like a long time, they'll tell you time flies when you're having fun. You see, the Lanes have followed their passion for a life on the water, and they've made a living inviting others along for the ride. Over the years, the shop has grown and changed, and so have the employees and products inside. From selling catamarans in the 1970s as newlyweds, living in a VW bus in the store parking lot, to being the destination Hobie fishing kayak store they are today, working with their 2 sons and daughter. You might be looking for a new way to enjoy time on the water with your family, or maybe you're looking for a new way to stay active, enjoy nature, explore, and catch a spotted bay bass. Whatever your goals, come visit us in Dana Landing on Mission Bay, and we'll get you geared up and ready to enjoy life on the water.
Do you know why 1 million customers visited Summit Gasoline last year at the San Diego Sports Arena? Because they give you the lowest price on fuel. Great service and easy access, even for trucks and trailers at their 24 pumps. Summit is known for the best price on ice, too. Almost half the cost of any other vendor. 25 pounds for just $3.99. Martha and her crew love fishermen, and they'll prove it by giving you 100 pounds free with a 35-gallon fill-up. Summit offers over 40 snacks and drinks to choose from for only 89 cents, and even a line of hand creams and lip balms for 89 cents too. Summit now proudly offers locally made burritos and sandwiches, made fresh daily and ready to go wherever the current takes you. Summit just upgraded their car wash, and for a limited time, get a deluxe car wash for only $6. Grab the wife's car, grab a cheap sandwich, and make up for the day on the water. Summit Gasoline, lowest prices, friendliest staff, easy access, and free ice. What more can you ask for?
Everyone has their go-to fishing spot. My spot is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. Rock Cod Rick here to say if you're looking for the ultimate Alaska experience and the best value in Alaska, it's Kingfisher Charters. Owner Seth Bone and his crew consistently deliver deluxe accommodations, the finest food, world-class fish processing, and top-of-the-line fishing experience. We've literally sent hundreds of our listeners to Kingfisher, and they all can't wait to go back. Most Alaska resorts make big promises, and they don't deliver, or they'll nickel and dime you to drive up the cost, but not Kingfisher. Everything is included. Your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, your gear. Literally all you need to bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. They also have the finest boats and charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. Take it from me. Book your trip to Kingfisher Charters and you'll thank me. Kingfisher Charters. 800-727-6136 or check kingfishercharters.com.
For local or long-range fishing, we have you covered. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. Being a part of the San Diego Sport Fishing Landing gives us a distinct advantage when it comes to getting you on the latest and hottest tackle for your trip. Our expert staff knows exactly what you need for your long-range or local trip, and we will not sell you something you don't need. We carry a huge inventory of the right tackle. So visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. Our hardworking crew will make your fishing experience one to remember. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. All our open party trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.